Okay guys, Mike from Boyer Bows here. I just wanted to address a message I got in my inbox on YouTube. Guy asked me about quivers. He said, do you make them? And the answer is yeah, and as a matter of fact I do make my own arrow quivers. So I thought I'd give you a couple of examples of the quivers I've made and how I went about starting to make them. For those of you who watch a show on Discovery called Dual Survival, there's two survival guys on there. Cody Lundeen, who's sort of a, I don't know, self-described hippie, and Dave Cantebury, who's a former Army SRT sniper and all-around survival guy. Well, Dave kind of got his start on YouTube, or at least he made his own start on YouTube. He posted up a whole bunch of survival videos, and they are a wealth of information. It's Wilderness Outfitters, I believe, is the YouTube site, and he has a ton of people following him and putting in their own videos, and it's just a wealth of information. I recommend looking it up. But the one thing I really gleaned off of that site, I gleaned a lot of things, but the one thing that really stuck with me was his wilderness quiver. I have just gone back and liked it on my YouTube. So if you are one of my subscribers, you can go on and see what I have liked as a favorite. Actually, I did as a favorite. So you can look in my favorites and you can see it's a two-part how to make a quiver. And actually, I'm going to recommend everyone goes to his site and checks him out. But I'm going to give you a little bit of the gist of it, how I kind of started that way. What he uses is basically a piece of this. This is 40 schedule PVC pipe. It's extremely cheap. You get it in 10-foot lengths. Basically, I get this at Ace Hardware. It's a little more expensive there than it is at Lowe's or Home Depot, but it's still only $10 for a 10-foot piece of pipe. And you can make 5 quivers from that, 2-foot increments, 5 quivers from that one piece of pipe. So you're getting a lot for your $10. And they'll cut it for you at Ace too, by the way, which is a little bit of a benefit. They cut it for free. So you tell them you want 2-foot increments, they'll cut you 5 quivers basically. And what he did was he sprayed his with adhesive and wrapped a bandana around it. I've got a 2-foot piece right here I've wrapped with some leather, and it's got a little pattern on it. Now what he did was, I just tied this on. I just cut it to length and then stitched it down the middle, drilled holes here and here, attached a piece of rope that I'll put a shoulder strap through. And what Dave does is he takes a piece of leather, both for decoration and to muffle his arrows. He puts it on each end. It's actually really attractive. But on the top, he'll fold it on the inside so that the arrows don't rattle. And it's a great way to make a back quiver. For target use, I use it when I go shooting at the range, when I practice. I don't really care for a back quiver if I'm hunting, or frankly, if I'm anywhere where I can't just stop and pick up my arrows, because what happens is you have it on your back, and you might have to bend over to go under a branch, and all the arrows fall out. They're also loud, even with the piece inside. They rattle against each other, against the side, and they just make a lot of noise. I like them very much for practice and for target shooting, but that's really it. What I use, I then went on and took a 3-foot tube, cut a hole in here, and I wrapped this with that No-Mar tape. It's that camouflage No-Mar tape. Saves me the trouble of spraying it down and your fingers don't get all sticky. And then what you'll do is shellac it. Just buy a $3 can of shellac and spray the shellac over this so you make it almost waterproof. I'll put a piece of sheepskin in here, and this is what I call a side quiver. It's I think called a High Chief's quiver. But basically the way this works, I know you're not going to be able to see it around the bar, but it goes on like this, and what you're basically doing is you're reaching here and pulling the arrow out from the bottom, and then returning it as needed, like that. And the nice thing is, these quivers, you get this little piece here, which is a cap. Just pop the cap on, and now when you bend over, yeah, you get that sound, which I gotta muffle it, but you know, your arrows don't fall out, and they don't fall out the hole either because you got this lip here. And with the appropriate padding, they're almost silent. A little addition to what Dave was doing in his video. See, these things really, these caps stay on really well. He also talks about all the gear he takes out in his pack. He basically packs a coffee can. Well, that can itself is a container that he uses, he can cook in it. Well, I had an idea, so I don't have to bring any other packs, of taking this. This is my coffee can. Now I can't cook in it because it's plastic, but I can keep all my gear in it, and it just fits on the top. I got plenty of room to lift the arrow in order to get it out of there. It's a tight fit on these things. Well, it needs to fit on there a little better, but now it's curved, so it fits really close to my body here instead of sticking out the back. It's got a screw on here. I still have my quiver. Now I can also carry about, I don't know, I'll put the wooden piece right at where the shoulder part is. So I've got all this storage area, and then when I stick it on, I can just unscrew the top here and get at whatever I need. Of course, you got to line it so it's quiet, but now you still got your quiver and you're carrying stuff all in one. Obviously, this was just an idea I had after my last hunt. I haven't actually done it yet. Keeping that in mind, if you want to go a little more primitive, you can get a piece of bamboo. This is a 4-inch diameter piece of bamboo. Every single one of these has a little membrane that runs through it. Just take a stick, smash through the couple of membranes you want to get rid of, scrape the top out like so, leave the bottom membrane there, same exact thing, you got a quiver. The only thing about bamboo is you'll notice there's a crack on each side here. But even though the crack's there, it's just cosmetic, because this is still working terrific. It is fragile, it is noisy, it's better for target stuff. Again, I just think it looks really nice. Putting the little piece on the bottom there, you don't have to cut anything out, it fits great. And, oh, a word on that. Here's the wood in the bottom of the quiver. Dave actually goes in and cuts a piece of wood out of a board or something. If you go to Michael's Art Supply, they're all over the country now, and they make these wooden pieces. I think they're coasters. They're in the section where all of the kids make benches and stuff like that. They're 50 cents. They're 4 inches. They're 3 inches. They fit perfectly for the most part, and they're done. And they're 50 cents. It's a nice way to go. Got one more quiver to show you. This video is running a little long. It's going to take me a long time to upload, so I'm going to do a second video. But I did something a little special, and I'm going to save it for another video. So now I'm going to end, and I'll see you guys in a little bit.